Gently close your eyes. Do deep breathing. We'll chant Om once together. Synchronize the chanting of Om with your exhalation. Breathe in. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Gently open your eyes. We'll chant from verses 16 to 20 of chapter 3. Evam pravartitam chakram
Evam pravartitam chakram
nanuvartayati hayah
nanuvartayati hayah
aghayurindriya ramah
aghayurindriya ramah
mogham partha sajivati
mogham partha sajivati
yastvat maratireva syad
yastvat maratireva syad
atmatriptascha manavah
atmatriptascha manavah
atmanyeva cha santushtah
atmanyeva cha santushtah
tasya karyam na vidyate
tasya karyam na vidyate
naiva tasya krite narthah
naiva tasya krite narthah
na krite neha kaschana
na krite neha kaschana
na chasya sarva bhuteshu
na chasya sarva bhuteshu
कश्चिदर्थव्यपाश्रयः
कश्चिदर्थव्यपाश्रयः
तस्मादसक्तः सततम्
तस्मादसक्तः सततम्
कार्यं कर्म समाचर
कार्यं कर्म समाचर
असक्तो ह्याचरन् कर्म
असक्तो ह्याचरन् कर्म
परमाप्नोति पूरुषः
परमाप्नोति पूरुषः
कर्मणैव हि संसिद्धिम्
कर्मणैव हि संसिद्धिम्
आस्थिता जनकादयः
आस्थिता जनकादयः
लोकसङ्ग्रहमेवापि
लोकसङ्ग्रहमेवापि
सम्पश्यन् कर्तुमर्हसि
सम्पश्यन् कर्तुमर्हसि
Hari Om, and a very good day to all of you. So in the last session, we saw the various dimensions of Artha. The entire first line of this verse is revolving around this principle of Artha, where he says there is no Artha to act or not act here. So on one hand, Artha means motive. So he has no personal motives. A master is one who does not plan and scheme with any ulterior motive. I'm not saying a master will never plan or scheme, but there is no personal motive in that. If at all he plans and schemes, that is the functional aspect of doing good to others. Then Artha also means reason. So the reason for you to act or not act is always directed towards happiness only. Either sukha prapti, which is directly trying to get happiness out of some action, or dukkha nivritti. You try to avoid those things which give you sorrow. But whether it's sukha prapti or dukkha nivritti, both are directed towards happiness only. That is the real reason for you to act or for you to avoid action. But a realized soul has already reached that state of happiness. So that is not the reason why he would act or not act. Then Artha means cause, the cause and effect cycle. So a yogi is beyond the cause and effect cycle. His consciousness is pegged on with that supreme self, which is not bound by the cause and effect cycle. The cause and effect cycle governs the world, the material world, but a yogi is beyond that. Then Artha also means purpose, end, aim. We saw all that in detail. So he has already reached the highest purpose. So then whatever activity he takes up or he doesn't take up, that is not going to be directed towards any purpose internally. Externally, there will still be a goal, an aim, but that aim is functional. So you need to be very clear here. When he says no artha, he's talking about the internal state of a yogi. Don't confuse it with the externalities. And then artha means meaning, significance, sense. So I explained to you, when you are a child and you keep playing with toys, that means a lot to you. But when you become an adult, the same toys don't mean anything to you now. Similarly, in this third dimension, there are so many toys which you are playing with. They mean a lot to you. They are very significant to you. Like health, wealth, power, position, name, fame, relationships, your career, your creativity. So many things are there. All these are belonging to the third dimension. But a yogi has moved on to that infinite dimension. So, per se, none of these things is going to have any big significance to him. When you are at the level of a child, you cannot help it. You will have value for the toys. So you cannot just act and say, now I become an adult and all that. That's why it's very amusing when sometimes when people start claiming themselves to be spiritual, a true yogi is in a different frequency altogether. He will be with you in the midst of all your activities, but there will be some depth. There will be the detachment. Here and there you'll start feeling that energy. No less a person than Lord Krishna himself, who was an avatar, he never declared himself to be an avatar, only to select few people who were ready to receive that energy, he revealed himself. Otherwise, everybody else, including Arjuna, took Krishna to be an ordinary person. Would you, as an adult, go and try to convince a child that you have become an adult? See, when children come and play with you, let's say babies, even we'll go one step further down. A baby who's just within the first year, supposing he or she is coming and playing with you. Now, what will be the baby's understanding of you? Can the baby understand what is it to be an adult? All that, it is impossible for a baby to even conceive. All the baby would want is it'll just come near you, it'll smile, and he or she will expect you to smile back. And you will also keep playing the game, and you will play with the child, you'll fondle the child, the baby, and you will jump with the baby. Does that mean that you also actually become a baby? No. You're just playing that game, and it's not that you don't enjoy it. Of course you enjoy that. But you are detached. Why? You have outgrown that level. Similarly, a yogi is very much in the world. He does everything, but he has actually outgrown them. He does all his duties with perfect detachment. So that's why last week I gave you that homework to reflect upon that example of outgrowing toys. There is you've become an adult now. You've outgrown the previous level. So, what is your level of maturity? What is your approach? If you start reflecting on these things, then you can get a glimpse of what he's talking about here when he's talking about the state of a yogi. So, a child cannot become an adult by emulating an adult. Simply by doing whatever the adult does, can the child become an adult? Immediately would we say the child has become an adult? Sometimes, I have seen some boys, this 5-year-old, 6-year-old boy, they take a pencil or the black ink and they draw a mustache. Now, you also laugh with the boy and he said, oh, you become a big boy now. All that is like a joke. So just because that boy has drawn a mustache here, has he now become an adult? No. Similarly, there are many people who claim, I am a yogi, I am a spiritual person, I am a guru. See, it is a meaningless thing. You have to genuinely get into that state, the inner state of consciousness. So all this drama they do in front of their so-called followers, acting like a spiritual person. By acting like a spiritual person, you don't become spiritual. There is nothing like acting like a spiritual person. It is by being yourself, acting at your level, that you can outgrow it and truly move up to the highest level. So, a yogi will be very simple, unassuming. Nobody will even come to know that he is a yogi. It is only people who have closely moved with him from a spiritual point of view will begin to realize the greatness of a yogi. As a father, he'll do his duties. As a husband, he'll do his husband or wife. He or she will do the duties properly. As a citizen of the country, he'll do whatever he can do. Every aspect of life will be well lived. But where is his consciousness pegged? It is pegged on to that infinite, supreme reality. So he is not talking about externalities at all. Just by giving up a few things, now you don't become spiritual. Some people tell me, sir, I avoid these kinds of foods. So therefore, I have become spiritual. Just by avoiding certain foods, if you can become spiritual, we don't require all this Bhagavad Gita, Vedas and all that. No, we can just simply, say, Acha, you want to become spiritual, eat these things. You will become spiritual. The sadhana becomes so simple, no? It's not like that. So what happens is, either people are fully in the world, they are worldly, or a select few, they are worldly, but they act as if they are spiritual. They get deluded to think that they are spiritual. But A yogi is beyond both these extremes. He has merged his consciousness with the infinite dimension. So the more you reflect on that example of a child and an adult, because it's your own experience. As an adult, you can now view the previous level in a much more mature way and understand that. The more you delve into that, the more you can get a glimpse of what he's saying. Why am I an adult? Is it because of my actions or is it because of my wearing a particular dress? Some people, just to pose themselves as spiritual, they wear one particular kind of dress, which is different from others. That is also childishness only. As elsewhere he says, balaha. Balaha means children. So some people play directly with the worldly toys. Some people play with the spiritual toys, we can say. But both of them are children only, playing with toys. So a self-realized master sees all this and he just smiles. There is nothing else to do. To even recognize a true spiritual person, you have to be somewhere near that level. Because he is not going to reveal his nature just like that. Actually, see, as an adult, you will conform your behavior, the way you talk, everything to the level of a baby when you interact with a baby. You will not talk like an adult. Isn't that true? So, how can a baby recognize? It's very difficult. That is why they say never judge anyone, particularly don't judge a person who is developed spiritually. You will invariably make a mistake. All you will do is to go by externalities. If a person wears a particular kind of dress, or if a person does a few rituals here there, or if he is able to quote scriptures, you have your own kind of parameter. I immediately, oh, what a great spiritual person he is. He is not eating this food. He is not, so many times he has fasted. So all your parameters are external. But here he is giving you what is the true state of a yogi. When he says there is no artha to act or not act here, he is not really exactly telling you what that state is, because that cannot be told. So he is kind of negating. Will a yogi have a motive to act? No. Will a yogi then have a motive not to act? No. So he is helping you to discover. See, a true master helps a student to discover the truth. He may not directly give you an answer, but he will help you to discover the answer. Sometimes a master may deliberately confuse a student also by saying contradictory things. Why? Because confusion is a first, or I would say preliminary stage before clarity. The moment you ask a question and you're confused, only then you will seek what is the true answer, no? Straight away if the answer is given, that really means nothing to you. So a student first gets confused, which is better than a state of tamas. No questions. That is tamas. So a sadhak gets confused with a lot of questions. And the master does not give an immediate answer, direct answer. He keeps giving around, saying things in a roundabout way. Like even in the Bhagavad Gita, that's what is happening. Arjuna says, Krishna, now tell me, should I fight? Should I act? Or should I gain knowledge? That's how we started this chapter also, no? Tadekam vada nischitya. Tell me one thing clearly. Should I act or should I gain knowledge? Krishna does not say act or gain knowledge. He just goes around jnana yogena sankhyanam, karma yogena yoginam. I have given karma yoga for yogis, jnana yoga for sankhya. How is that directly answering? It only leads to further confusion. So again, Arjuna repeats later, should I act or should I now gain knowledge? Again, Krishna goes about. Why? Because he is helping him to discover the answer. Because all answers ultimately lie within you, not in any book, not in any external source. You are the source of all knowledge, and you will have to discover it from within. So, these verses are typically helping you to discover. They are not directly telling you what it is, but they go on negating whatever conclusion you come to. This is what a spiritual person means. He'll keep on acting. No motive to act. A spiritual person means he'll always be sitting, probably meditating, no action. No motive not to act here. Then what will he do? Discover. See, he's putting you on the path of discovery. Spirituality is a path of discovering the truth, discovering yourself. It's a path of self-discovery. The problem is, in the modern education system, you're not used to this method. You're always used to gaining knowledge from an external source. So suddenly when you come to this yogic approach, when you start attending these sessions, now you are a little confused. Many people have said this, some sadhaks who bring their friends or their relatives and all to attend this Sunday session. Later on, the same friend, he says, it's nice, whatever Yogishri is saying is nice, but sometimes, it is not very clearly specified. This is what it is. Why is that? The reason is this only. This is the path of self-discovery. The entire wisdom is there within you. That reservoir of wisdom, infinite reservoir of wisdom is there within you. There is nothing to seek outside you. So, if you just read just the translation, we'll take the first line for example. There is no motive to act or to not act here. If you read it in a yogic way, that will immediately make you so meditative. You will close your eyes. For him, there is no motive to act or not to act. You will automatically start getting into that state. You will start getting a glimpse. Don't do it now because you're listening to this, but the very structure of the verse is meant to take you inward and help you to discover. So as an adult, you will play with the child, you will do all that, and then simply wait till the child grows up. till the child outgrows whatever level he or she is in and moves to the next level. It's a process of growth. As you grow into the next level, you will outgrow the previous level. Similarly, a master guides the student at his or her level, not at his own level. There is no meaning in that. And then he will patiently wait. He'll say, keep doing the sadhana. And the student will come back to the master with all kinds of issues and problems. Sir, this is now happened in my life. That has happened. No problem. Some solution he'll give. Then he'll say he'll push the student to do sadhana. And he will wait patiently because you will have to outgrow all these. You will have to live these out fully and then outgrow them. That is the meaning of completing your experiences. Earlier I had explained to you what is completion in a different way. Now there is a different dimension of completion. When you outgrow a level completely, when you move on to the next dimension, then you have completed your experiences with respect to the previous level. No hang-ups. It's a mature state. So for him, there is no artha to act or not to act here. No significance, no meaning, no sense whatsoever per se. So don't try to copy this. When you are a child, of course, the toy has a lot of significance to you. So it's better to find practical solutions. Similarly, right now, if somebody comes and insults you, don't simply fool yourself and say, oh, I'm beyond all this. That thing will affect you. At least recognize that. See, there are people who just learn a few things in the books and then they just try to emulate a master. No. If there is a financial loss, that is affecting you today. So the master gives you practical solutions. He gives you healing. You utilize that to solve that issue. But keep on doing your sadhana. Slowly, slowly, you will outgrow all these. There is nothing wrong in getting affected by some issue. Sometimes sadhaks get into a sense of ego and falsity where they say, they think that, if they admit that they are affected by something as if they have done a great crime or something. There is nothing like that. Like there was one person, his son passed away. This happened a few years back, His son passed away. And this person is claiming that he is a sadhak. He sent an invitation card to all his relatives and friends saying that celebration of my son's death. Literally, I'm not joking. I'm not exaggerating. These were the exact words. We are pleased to invite you to the celebration of our dear son's death. See, this is a very dangerous thing. He's hiding all his sorrow, everything, and he's trying to put on an act of spirituality, the act of detachment. So, never ever put on an act of spirituality. Just be yourself. And as you outgrow, as you become truly spiritual, that will be your natural self. So no issue. So spirituality is effortlessly being in that supreme state. There is no special effort there. A child has no, it doesn't put any effort to be a child. An adult doesn't put any effort to be an adult. It's a natural state. That is what we are aiming at. So live out your life fully, but keep doing sadhana and complete all your experiences and outgrow them. Go beyond all this. That is the potential which you have from to move on from the finite to the infinite. So if you take the first line, I'm just kind of summarizing the main things before we move on to the next line. What is the key message which you're getting? When the moment he says no motive to act or not act, the point there is that detachment is a state of neutrality. He's in a state of neutrality. Detachment is not hating the world. Many people think that hating the world, looking down upon the world is detachment. No, that is also attachment only. It's the other side of the same coin. Whenever you are affected by the presence of something, that is called attachment. But when you are affected by the absence of it, that is also called attachment. Both. So, for example, money. A person who is craving for money, he is attached. A person who hates money, he is also equally attached to money. Both are at the same level only. Some people say, no, I just can't stand money. They are maximum worldly. A yogi is one who will be neutral. The presence of money also will not put him off balance. The absence of money also will not put him off balance. So as a sadhana, you can see this. Whenever you're craving for something, pause and release that energy through sadhana. Whenever you're vehemently avoiding something, again, do sadhana and release that. It means there is some block which you're having. When you're craving for something, the absence of it is affecting you. When you are hating something, trying to avoid something, it means the presence of that is affecting you. So he has no motive to act or to not act. See, it's a beautiful state of neutrality, number one. Number two, being in the neutral state, he is ready to move in any direction as the situation demands. See, these few points which I am giving you, they'll really help you because it's an overview. Having gone into the depth of those principles, now I'm just giving you a kind of a summary or overview, the key points. So in case you have missed, you can make a note here. Being in a state of neutrality, a master is ever ready to move in any direction, action or just being quiet. Whatever is effective in that situation, he will do that. Certain situations to act will be effective. In certain situations, just to avoid action will be better. So that decision will be based on the situational requirement. he will be in a state of neutrality. So whatever decisions he takes will be really sharp decisions, most effective decisions. Decision making can become most effective when you are not colored by anything, when you are in a state of neutrality. The moment you are colored, your decisions will be imperfect only. Why is it that a sadhak goes to the master for advice? What is it that a master has which a sadhak does not have? A sadhak means a student. A master is always in a state of neutrality. So if you give him all the facts, he'll be able to tell you what is the best thing to do. When see this, when you're having all the facts in front of you, why is it that you can't take the decision in such a perfect way? Because you're colored. You're colored by your own emotions, your past. So in the good old days, kings used to take the advice of a guru. Now the king is ruling the whole place. But he used to take the advice of a guru. Why? Because being in the state of neutrality, his clarity level will be much better. So the decision making will be perfect. Then, from a standpoint of choice for a yogi, action becomes a choice. Whereas for a normal person, there is always an internal pressure, either to act, that is, do something, or to avoid certain things, not to act. So you're constantly pressurized from within. You start your day with pressure only, internal pressure. So through sadhana, when you release all that pressure, thereafter, life itself becomes a choice for you. And when you choose and do something, you will enjoy it thoroughly. When you do something out of an internal pressure, you will not enjoy it beyond a point. That will cause a lot of stress within you. So today, why are you getting stressed? Because of that internal pressure. A yogi is always calm, collected from within. There is no pressure, and he or she is able to choose whatever is the right thing to be done. So, as a human being, you have been given that capacity to choose, but you never awaken that power to choose. Why? Because you have that internal pressure. It is the sadhana which can help you to release all that pressure, and then you can choose and create a life which you want. You are the creator of your life. You are the maker of your destiny. No God is sitting there deciding what should happen in your life. Please come out of these wrong concepts. Some people say the planets and stars are governing your destiny. No way. It is you who is deciding, your own karmas which decide what will happen in your life. Using these planetary movements and all that, they may be able to a certain degree, read what the effects of your karma are. That's all. But the planets are not the cause, it is your karmas. So some people say, no, oh, sir, I went to an astrologer. He says this dosha means a negative factor because of this planet. It is not because of the planet. If that planet can cause a problem, it will cause the problem to everyone. Please understand this. It is your own karmas. Karmas means thoughts, emotions, actions, everything put together, speech, which have created that blocks. Doshas are nothing but a reflection of internal blocks. In astrology, they say if this planet is in this position, then there is this defect. Dosha means defect actually. It is not the alignment of the planet which is causing that defect. It is certain kinds of thoughts, emotions, actions, and speech which you have done previously, which have created that block, which is what they're calling as an defect. So the solution is not in trying to align the planet properly or doing external things. It is in changing your internal energy pattern. One sadhak, a youngster, he came to me. He was not finding a suitable partner. His parents were also worried. He himself was worried. So when he discussed it with me, I found a distinct energy pattern which was preventing him from finding a partner. What is interesting is, where his parents took his horoscope to several astrologers, and all of them said there is this dosha, and technically it's called kalatra dosha. Kalatra means spouse. So the marriage will get delayed, he may not find partners, like this, So they even said, some of the top astrologers said, he will not find a partner at all in this birth. What they are talking about is a result of the past karmas. But when he was loaded with all these concepts, when he came to me, on one hand, there was fear in him. On the other hand, what astrologers had told his parent, all that was told to him. So he was very depressed. So then I explained to him, see, you forget about all your horoscope, these things. Just look at your nature. The moment you think of getting into a relationship, what is the energy which is coming within you? He did the meditation. When he did some sadhana, and he found out that there were so many blocks which he was having. How do I decide who is the right partner? What is the meaning of soulmate? Then he had an unadjustable nature. He felt getting into a relationship would take away his freedom. So many blocks were there. And then he was saying, let me become financially secure first. Those were all just some reasons which he was giving to avoid. So on one hand, he was saying, I want a partner, but internally, what I made him discover was he was generating thoughts at the subconscious level, thoughts, emotions, both at the subconscious and at the deeper conscious level, which was not in line with what he was saying, or with what he was seeking. Opposite forces. So I first asked him to do sadhana. I said, see, don't now become deterministic. Just because somebody has told you that this dosha is there now, that doesn't mean. May be true, may not be true. But why do you require all that to read what is happening in your life? Just look at your own thought structure. There is a yogic path which you are in. He said yes. I told him, do sadhana, become aware of what is the energy pattern you are creating. Now receive the healing. The Guru Shakti will help you. But you will have to release all those factors. He did that. It took about 2-3 months for him to do he did the Yoga Sankirtan sadhana every day, very sincerely. And whatever fears, thoughts, everything which came all got released. Some memories of the past births also came to him, where he had got cheated by some girl. So those were all blocks. He was afraid about relationships. It was an educative experience for him because he didn't realize he was having so many factors from within. He didn't realize that his own energy pattern was pushing the result away. So he did all that sadhana. And then when he came to that neutral position, I said, now is the time to create. Very clearly state what you want. Boldly express yourself to yourself and say, I want this, I want a partner, whatever it is that you want, create. Express it to the Guru Shakti in your sadhana. If required, you write down so that it becomes very clear. Then do your sadhana. The moment he neutralized the past through the yogic methods, and then when he did the sadhana, amazingly, he found a partner, and her parents were requesting, we are ready for marriage. Can we have the marriage immediately within a month? He says it all happened like a dream, just very quickly. And now he is, living very happily with his, his wife. They have 2 kids, 2 Devis, daughters, and he has grown in career, everything, in every sense of the term. So, no factor can actually pull you down. I am just explaining this astrology part also a bit from the yogic angle, so that you understand what the yogic astrology, which is based on law of karma. The Vedic astrology, what they call as Vedic astrology, Jyotisha, is based on the planetary movements, but that is only reading the inherent karmas. In yogic astrology, what a yogi does is it directly goes into the karmas and changes the energy pattern. That is where a true guru will help. Provided the student takes complete guidance and is willing to do it, like how this boy did. Most people simply ask, but they have their own beliefs, they just keep going here, there. Then the master just keeps quiet. He just gives healing, and then it's a choice. So, your life is in your hands. You have the choice. You can create your life in your way. That power is there within you. It is lying dormant today. It is up to you to do sadhana and empower yourself. The Guru will give the empowerment, no doubt, periodically. But then ultimately, you should use that energy and empower yourself from within. And then there is one more thing, here. A yogi is always in the present. The present world, the present experiences, the present context, the present moment. These are some of the main points which you should make a note of in the first line. Then we'll continue further. What is he saying in the second line? There are no beings or objects which he is dependent on. Vyapashrayah. Sarva bhuteshu. Sarva bhuteshu means all beings are being considered. There is no being whom he is dependent on. And then Arthaha. Arthaha also means object. So I had given you many dimensions of Arthaha in the first line. Now he is using the same word Arthaha to specifically mean object. So the world is consisting of beings and objects. It's a very broad classification. And so when you contact the world, you are completely dependent either with one person or a few people, or with one object or a few objects for your happiness. Now, what he's saying is that yogi, that the person who is merged with the infinite dimension, is totally independent of beings and objects. Sarva bhuteshu. Sarva bhuteshu means is considering all beings. I'll explain that in more detail, but first a general understanding of this is required. And then kaschit artha, any object you take, let it be the most costly thing also, he will use it, but he will never be dependent on that for his happiness. Why? Because ultimately happiness is there within you only, deep, deep within you. That is the source of all happiness. So a yogi will function in the world, a yogi will use the world, he will relate with beings, with people, he will use the various objects according to whatever, however much his purse will permit him. If his financial condition permits him to buy costlier things, he'll buy. If not, according to his budget, he'll go. That is all external. But whatever be it, now he is totally independent. He is not dependent. Vyapashraya. It's been translated as dependence. As we go into the depth of that, you will get more sadhana messages. Beautiful word, when he uses the word vyapashraya. So the basic message of the second line is independence, a state of independence. In the previous verse, I told you, happiness, independence, freedom. These three are related only. So that is exactly what he is referring to here. That's why I covered that in detail in the previous verse. That forms a base for you to understand all these principles easily. So the great yogis, the masters, they are not telling you to stop contacting the world. You yourself are a part of this world only. So how can you move away from the world? See, that concept itself is ridiculous if you think about it. When you are a part of that system, you cannot get out of that system. That only happens when you raise your consciousness to the infinite dimension. Otherwise, physically you are present in the world only. And even when a person dies, whatever the so-called death which people are calling, that is nothing but leaving that body, and again the person comes back, is reborn with another body in the same world. So no yogi has ever said don't contact the world. Then there is no purpose of being born. No? You are there as an individual and you are a part of the world. So you cannot separate yourself from the world. Please understand this very clearly. Many people in the name of detachment, they develop hatred towards the world. Then you are cursing yourself, as it were. You are only causing your own doshas, faults. Why is it that all masters said, love everyone, love the world? You take any religion, whatever the masters of that particular line would have said, the same message only. Universal love, unconditional love. Why do they say that? Because when you love the world, you are actually not merely loving the world, you are loving yourself, you're blessing yourself, you're creating a positive energy within you. You being a part of the world, when you love the world, you are loving yourself. Or when you love yourself in the true unconditional way, you will automatically love the world. You and the world cannot be separated. It is only for analysis sake we say your life consists of two factors. One is you, the other is the world. There what we mean is the external world. But otherwise, in reality, you plus whatever you call as the world, they both are always interrelated. And what is that world is dividing into two parts. One is beings, other is objects. See, he's simplifying and giving you the clarity. So as a sadhak, no need to complicate things. Just view your whole life in this way. I am here as an individual, the Jivatma, as they called it, the individual soul. Now I am a part of this world. And what is the world? Various beings, various objects. Just two divisions he makes. So I am going to relate either to people or to objects. I may choose one object over the other. I may choose one person over the other. All those things are there. But I am a part of this system. So to say that you are worldly, you have to become spiritual now, all these things don't make any sense from this standpoint. When you hate the world, only you are worldly. Or when you are attached to the world, you are worldly. In the true sense of the term. Not when you are contacting the world or not contacting the world. That has no relevance to spirituality. People always think that a guru, a master means you should not do normal things. You define what is normalcy in your own way, and then you think somebody has to do something abnormal, something different. And then he is a great master. If everyone is eating rice, now one person comes and says, I am spiritual, therefore I am not eating rice. Oh, he must be spiritual. These do's and don'ts don't make you spiritual. It is your inner state of consciousness. So, this is a beautiful sadhana. Actually, this is a meditation. I'll give you a glimpse of it in today's Nididhyasana session. Because after that, when we go into the depth of this line, you would get the real message. But you can practice. After today's Nididhyasana session, you set aside some time this week and just close your eyes and view yourself, view your own life in a meditative way. Here I am as an individual. No need to give any name to you. Oh, I am Mr. So-and-so. That is only in this birth. So here I am, the Jivatma, the soul, individual soul. You cannot straight away conceive the infinite. That is why the sadhana is very useful. Try it and see. I am the Jivatma, the individual soul, and I am in this world. I am relating to people and relating to various objects. This is a perfectly integrated system. If you just gain that clarity, that itself will give you a lot of detachment. You will stop quoting something and getting attached, or avoiding something and developing hatred. The more you get this understanding that I am the individual soul and I'm a part of the system, the more you will outgrow attachments and aversions. Rather, you will start participating with joy and happiness. Just this realization that I am the individual self itself will give you so much of happiness. Then imagine when you realize that you are the infinite self, how much more happiness you will get. In the future, empowerments, special empowerments will be given to you for this. This is one important level in a yogi's journey when he gets fully established in the consciousness of the Jivatma. After that, expanding it and merging with the Paramatma, Supreme Self, is more deep sadhana. So you can really get a glimpse of what he's saying in the second line only if you develop this approach. Okay, so otherwise, just to say, he's not dependent on anything, we can move on. That is, no, there is no use, there is no depth in that. He is completely self-contained, self-dependent. Self-dependent, I'm using the word self-dependent. Self means the inner self. First, you will conceive it as a limited self, Jivatma, and then you will go on expanding it through sadhana till it becomes infinite. It is actually already infinite. Your realization will go on deepening. Okay, so we'll stop with that here. We will be doing the Nididhyasana for this. I'll just initiate that process and then do the homework this week. That is very important. When you do these homeworks which are given to you in a very sincere way, week after week, you will start receiving more and more. Your capacity to receive will tremendously increase. Okay, so before we do the Nidhyasana meditation, I will take up one question. This question has been asked by Sadhak Ramanji. So, Namaste Yogishri. Subject is clarification on yoga in the Gita and the Yoga Sutras. I think you're meaning Patanjali Yoga Sutras. So, Hari Om and Pranams. Having studied and recited the Bhagavad Gita since childhood, I have recently begun to approach it as a manual for sadhana through the light of your teachings. Wonderful, sir. And incidentally, these are not my teachings, these are the teachings of great yogic masters. So, Lord Krishna presents yoga in many dimensions as equanimity, samatvam, then skill in action, karma su kaushalam, skill in action, wisdom and devotion. Yes, in the second chapter, I think we did it. Yoga karma su kaushalam, samatvam yoga uchyate. He says that. That's what you're referring to. Conversely, Patanjali defines yoga singularly as chitta vritti nirodha, the cessation of the fluctuations of the mind. Chitta means mind, chitta also means thoughts. As long as your understanding is clear, it's fine. So, my humble question is, what is the common meeting point between Krishna's multifaceted vision and Patanjali's technical definition? How should a seeker reconcile these paths in daily practice? In terms of application, Krishna's path feels accessible as it integrates yoga into daily life through action and devotion. Yet maintaining that state during worldly interactions can be subtle and challenging. Patanjali's path, while perhaps more gradual, offers a structured meditative inwardness with results that feel more tangible to the seeker if one is sincere in following yama, niyama, asana, etc. I seek your guidance on how to understand and harmonize these two profound approaches. Pranams. And then you also given examples of where Krishna defines yoga. Chapter 2 verse 48, Samatvam Yoga Uchyate, equanimity, efficiency, Yoga Karmasu Kaushalam. That is in chapter 2 verse 50. Then chapter 6 verse 8, Jnana Vijnana Triptatma Yukta Iti Uchyate. Yoga is a satisfaction of soul through wisdom. Then Dukkha Samyoga Viyogam in chapter 6 verse 23, as freedom from pain, as divine manifestation. Etam Vibhutim Yogam, chapter 10 verse 7. Yoga as a realization of the Lord's internal creative power. Then as total devotion, Mahi Aveshya Mano Yuktatmana Mataha, chapter 12 verse 2. Yoga as the highest state of faith-driven absorption. So it's very nice to see that you have read and you have noted all this. Now I'll simplify this whole thing, because real wisdom is very simple only. The first thing is, you're talking about Lord Krishna and then sage Patanjali, that approach, this approach. The first thing which you need to understand in spirituality is there are no different paths. There is only one path. There may be different approaches, different attitudes, different ways, but as far as a path is concerned, there is only one. Expanding your consciousness, realizing that your Jivatma is the Paramatma. I am that infinite. That's all. You call it by any name. He calls it as Sankhya Yoga in the second chapter. What is it? It is just realizing this. Now, I'll give you an example. You're there. There is a destination you want to reach. Now, what is being told to you is there is only one road. In that road, you can take different vehicles. One person may reach that destination in a car. Another person may reach the same destination in a two-wheeler. A third person may prefer walking. He may want to see many things as he is walking and slowly move. The mode of transport may be different, but the road is one only. Similarly, the path is one. That is called yoga. Now, when you use your actions to travel in that path of yoga, it is called karma yoga. When you use your emotions to travel in that path, that is called bhakti yoga. When you use your intellect to travel in the path, that is called jnana yoga. Different yogas. It looks as if they are different paths. But remember, the path or the road is one only. The instruments are different. This is the base understanding which is very important. So, whether it is Krishna or whether it is Patanjali or you take the Upanishads, so many other definitions of yoga can be given, can be taken and given. There is nothing to get confused the moment you understand that yoga is only one path. Different instruments, different facets are being given out by these masters in different contexts. So, yoga, the word yoga is derived from the root yuj. Yuj means union. Union with what? Union with that infinite self called Paramatma. So the state of yoga is nothing but whatever we have been studying in the last two verses, no? This verse and the previous verse. That is that supreme state where the consciousness is united with the infinite. That is called the state of yoga. Now, the path of yoga is when you make any effort or attempt to unite with that infinite. That is called the path of yoga. So, yoga can be used in two ways, either to represent the state, the ultimate state, or to represent the path. This is the second point which you need to make note of. The first one, there is only one path, there is only one goal, infinite. You call the infinite as Rama, Krishna, this God, that any name. Different masters use different names, but they are referring to that formless, infinite reality. Then there is only one path, that is the path of yoga. Different additions can come. I will explain all that. This is the first point. Second point, which is very important for you to understand, is that yoga is derived from yuj. It means union. So the state of yoga and path of yoga. State of yoga is when the consciousness is in union with the self. Path of yoga, any attempt you make to unite with the higher self. This should be very clear. Now we will come to what Krishna's gave, what Patanjali gave and all that. Not only Krishna and Bhagavan Patanjali, if you go to Yoga Vasishta, he will give some more definitions of yoga. All are meaning the same thing. They are all different applications of this principle of yoga. Primarily, yoga as a path means any attempt to unite with the higher self. As a state, it means the state of union with the self. Now, the moment we talk of this yogic path, it has infinite applications. When you use your physical body and do, they called it as karma yoga. He himself is talking about karma yoga here. And there is bhakti yoga, jnana yoga, hatha yoga, different names. Actually, originally there are only four paths which they gave: karma yoga, bhakti yoga, jnana yoga, hatha yoga. Nowadays, I find everybody is giving his own versions, his own name, this yoga, that yoga, so many things are coming up. As long as those efforts are directed towards uniting with the self, the higher self, it can be called a yoga. So, Patanjali said cessation of all thoughts, cessation of the mind, that is yoga. Actually, it's the same thing which Krishna is saying, samatvam yoga uchyate, that is a samatvam. It is only when all your thoughts subside that you can be in a state of balance. Yoga karma su kaushalam. When you do some action, perform it skillfully with all the bhavana. Consciously when you do that, will that help you to unite with the higher self or not? Definitely yes. Therefore, that can also be called yoga. Actually, if you think about it, how many yogas are there? Infinite yogas are there. All of them will fit into either karma, bhakti, jnana or hatha yoga. When you are breathing, use your breath to connect with the self. That sadhana can be given. I keep saying, no, do deep breathing. Feel the divine vibrations. In every Nididhyasana session, I'm saying that, no. That can be called as a yoga. So, what is yoga? Breathing deeply and feeling the divine vibrations. That is also right. When, supposing, let us say, a person is cooking, if he converts that action of cooking into worship, then that becomes a yoga. So, whenever you convert anything into sadhana, it becomes a yoga. So, according to the context, each master gave one aspect of yoga. Those are not strict definitions, ultimate definition. They are only they only indicate the different applications of yoga. You should know that difference. So when Krishna is talking to Arjuna, he is saying yoga karma sukhaushalam. Skill in action is yoga, because Arjuna is an active person. He requires action. Supposing Krishna were to talk to a person who is in the deathbed, just for argument's sake, a person is lying down on deathbed and about to die, and Krishna happens to talk to him, he will not tell him, come on, skill in action is yoga. That person is leaving the body. So he will tell him, calm down, don't fear this process of death. Do the deep breathing and come out of your body consciously. Think of the higher self. This is yoga, he will tell him. So if you understand the basics, then there is no contradiction. See, Patanjali gave yama niyama. That is the structure of this yogic path. Even Krishna is talking about the same thing only. The way it is put across may be different. What are yamas and niyamas? They are certain qualities and rules which you need to follow. Now, any path, there are no different paths. No, even I'm saying any path. Any approach you take, those yamas and niyamas are common. Actually, Patanjali only gave 5. But actually, in the Upanishads, if you go, they have given 10 yamas and 10 niyamas. So he just gave a small summary. Today, people are hanging on to that and they are thinking that is a separate path. And some people claim that path which Patanjali gave, that is the best. There is nothing like best, there is not best and all that. There is only one path, that is a yogic path. So, you are seeing so much of differences. Now, I am giving you the basic stuff, the foundation. And once you understand the foundation, you will find that all these are different applications. Just by applying this principle to breath, you can go to very high levels. And some masters called it as, Kriya Yoga. Prana Yoga, some people say. Application of yoga to perfect the pranic body, through that uniting with the self. Bhakti Yoga, through emotions. Jnana Yoga, through intellect. So don't get confused with these names. Go to the basics, understand the central theme. It's wonderful, sir, that you asked this question, because this will remove the confusions of many people. So, I have not come here to put you on another path. No, there is only one path. A true master will help you to travel in that road or path in your way, using your instrument. If you have more of intellect, he'll help you to reach that way through analysis. If you have more of emotions, through devotion. Actually, you will always be a combination of all. So that's why a master will give a sadhana which combines everything. Karma yoga, bhakti yoga, jnana yoga, everything will be combined. Okay? So this should clarify whatever doubts you had raised. If you have further, feel free to ask. Now we'll do the Nididhyasana meditation. Gently close your eyes. Do deep breathing. With every breath, I am becoming more and more relaxed. Feel the divine vibrations. With every breath, I am going deeper and deeper into myself. Beyond this physical body, beyond these emotions and thoughts, lies the Supreme Self, the infinite reality. I am the individual soul, the Jivatma, who has come into this world to experience life. I am Swayam Prakashit, self-illuminating. Offer your gratitude to God Supreme. Offer your gratitude to your Guru and all the holy masters. Wriggle your fingers, your toes. Open and close your palms a few times. Rub your palms together to create a warmth. And cup your eyes with your palms. Gently rub your eyes, your cheeks, forehead, the top of your head, the back of your head, your neck, and slowly open your eyes. Welcome back. So today we had a very deep session. Reflect well and absorb them. every aspect of your life can be converted into yoga. That's why our great masters divinized everything. If you want money, the personified money as goddess Lakshmi. The energy behind that, wealth, goddess Lakshmi. Knowledge, goddess Saraswati. Success, Lord Ganesha. Like this, Why? Because everything can be converted into yoga. Yoga is in your ability to convert that experience into sadhana. Yoga is not a special set of things which you need to do. You may be studying the scriptures, but you may not be in this path if you're merely doing it as an end in itself. You may be doing various rituals, but you may be far away from being spiritual. So unless you learn to convert every experience into sadhana, you are not traveling in this path. That is the very principle of yajna, converting everything into yajna. Okay? So the nididhyasana which was done today, very powerful. So do that homework which I gave you. You'll find a lot of difference. Next week we'll go into the depth of the second line, which is amazing. And then, of course, we'll move on further. And these are all preparations for the Guru Purnima yogic sadhana, which we'll be doing. Actually, Guru Purnima is just connecting to the Guru Shakti. It's not that only on that day you should be connected. It's throughout. That is more of a conscious effort we put in. The whole month it is Guru Purnima. Every moment itself is Guru Purnima if you wish it to be. So Guru Purnima has already started. Every Sunday is a Guru Purnima only that way. If you have the right bhavana. So through these meditations, I'm also preparing you for that the blast of the higher energy, which will cause so much of healing for you, which will remove all the blocks which you're facing in life, so that you experience the world, complete these experiences, and move on to the higher path of yoga. Okay? So thank you very much. I'll see you in the next session. Hari Om.